guest speaker of the night will be Angela Copeland, and she'll be introduced by Melissa Jordan.
Good evening. I feel like I have the greatest honor and privilege to be able to introduce to you a woman who you will see has natural beauty, but let me just tell you from personal experience, her inner beauty is incredible. Just a little bit about her. She's a Korean adoptee, along with her twin sister, Amy. And they were adopted at 10 months old in 1974. They were raised by an American family in Minnesota, and since they've been back these last couple of days, they've really had a lot of fun reminiscing and going back to their old stomping grounds, and I was just really privileged to be along with that. Angie, or Angela Copeland, I know that she always did well in school because she has that drive that many of us do. I myself am also a Korean adoptee, and I'm 43 years old. But age between, there's a few years between the two of us, but that didn't stop her from befriending me. Again, like I said, she's always done really well, and she got her degree in chemistry. But the time that I got to know Angie was when my husband was transferred to Milwaukee, Wisconsin with the Coast Guard. I know that puzzled me at first because usually we're on like the coast, but because Lake Michigan is like an ocean, we were stationed there. But even before I met Angie, I went to a church, a very big church in Milwaukee called Oak Creek Assembly of God. And as I was walking from the parking lot, this is my first day, mind you, to the sanctuary, I was called Angie several times going into the building, which kind of puzzled me. I thought, wow, they're really friendly, but I wish they knew my name. But anyway, so I go into there and find out later that I have to meet this woman named Angie because she's also a Korean adoptee. And out of like 2,500 people at this church in Milwaukee, there's still only a handful of Asians. Actually, I think there were only two, me and her. So that's why I was called Angie. But you know what? It was a privilege and an honor because she, I got to meet her and we became really good friends. And that was something that God appointed almost 10 years ago. Well, since then, she's currently now living in Waxahachie, Texas, which is near Dallas. So if you just want to say Dallas, it's fine. And she is a chemistry teacher, and she's so awesome. She even got Teacher of the Year this year, so I was so proud of her. Currently, I'm in San Diego, California, with my husband who's got transferred again. And I know this is not about me, but I have to share the privilege of why I love her so much, and I consider her one of my best friends. It's because with that unity back 10 years ago, she is like the only person in my life, no matter where we are, thousands of miles apart, she knows because she's an adoptee a lot of things that even at 43 I'm going through. And so we've talked periodically, and she was privileged to go to this CAM Center spiritual journey last year. And we are so busy, we didn't really get a chance to connect. But we connected about in April, and she just knew, God put it in her heart that she needed to talk to me. And when she heard my voice, she's like, wow, you really need to go on this trip. But I'm a rule follower, and I'm 43, and the age cutoff is 35, so I never even gave it another thought. I just said, that's great for you, awesome, it sounds great, I'll never get to experience it. Because of her faith and her friendship, she knew that God had a purpose and a plan. And her name is Angela, and I looked it up, and she is my angel. I call her my angel. And that is actually the French meaning, and the Hispanic meaning of Angela is actually messenger of God, and that is what she has done for me. So if you ever get the privilege to talk to her or be a friend of her, you will be a very blessed person. So let me take this time, because it's really about her, to introduce to you Angela Copeland.
Thank you, Melissa. I love you. I do. It is a privilege to be here. I I cannot tell you what this trip has done for me, and many of you out there, you experienced this too. And so I'm just going to quickly give you my top 10 highlights of my journey to Korea. Starting with number 10, I have to say Korean Air. The hospitality, the food, and learning how to sleep on an airplane 14 different ways. Number 9, seeing our huge faces on the banner when we first arrived at Busan. Number 8, giving my testimony at the church in Busan, which was where I was born. Number 6, the water fight at Jirisan, where I single-handedly beat Pastor Park and Dr. Kim. Number 5, throwing the, we had it was a ball of yarn, and we threw it to each other at the spiritual retreat center, and just said very kind words to each other, and I remember that was very nice. Number 4, the amazing bathhouses. Number 3, I learned how to make japchae with my host mom in Seoul, which I just made before I came here. So when I come back, I'll still have some left over. Number 2, breaking the board at the farewell dinner, never give up. And number 1 was a tie, and so I put a PowerPoint together, and because the sound does not hook up to the computer, Melissa is going to coordinate the sound with me, so when I press the PowerPoint button, she will be up here pressing the PowerPoint button on my computer, so the mic and the PowerPoint can sync together. So I need this, and if you could just come up here, and I'll get this set up while you set up the computer. If you could look at your tables, please, there are some envelopes. If you could turn it to the back side of them, and if you could write down any comments, or if you would like to get involved with CAM Center, if you could just write down your contact information. We would love to hear any ideas or any involvement you'd like to have with CAM. I want to thank you again for everybody who's currently helping with the Korean Adoptees Ministry. You really, truly are changing generations. I have 2 boys, and I know the change in my life is being passed down to my own children. So I want to thank you again. On the back of the card, if you'd like to make any donations, there is a spot on the back, actually I guess it's the front, to make those donations. So thank you again, and have a good night.